saw it first, so I want to get your first impressions of the Kyrie situation and what happened, and then we'll dive into the disaster that the Nets KD era has been.
Oh my God! So what was your first question? What do I think about the trade?
What was your first thought when the trade? Were you like, because
So
it's
funny.
like it could go one of two ways, because you only gave up Spencer Dinwiddie, the pick is in 2029, then you give up someone like Dorian Finney-Smith, so you lose some wing defense, but he's not really a great scorer.
Honestly, the trade is like it has a lot of upside for it because I think Luka gets a nice two. Kyrie, say what you will about Kyrie the person or whatever issues you might have with outside of basketball. When he plays basketball, he's very good at basketball. You know, an elite player. So you're looking at the trade itself. I mean, Spencer Dinwiddie, they weren't going to re-sign Spencer Dinwiddie most likely.
No.
Dorian Finney-Smith is just a dude. Nobody, you can replace Dorian Finney-Smith. And then you have a 2029 first-round pick.
Yeah.
First of all, this is like one part about the NBA that I don't understand. It's like trading for a draft pick in 2029. It's like, I mean, that trade could really pay out for them, but I think the Mavericks are still going to be good if they have Luka Doncic still. And then a second round pick. That doesn't matter at all. Second round picks are nothing. That's like trading a 7th round pick in the NFL.
Yeah.
So as far as the trade is concerned, the Mavericks, if he plays to his ceiling, then it's going to be a home run trade. Otherwise, it's like, I don't know. I feel like the floor, it's like they don't re-sign him and he's gone in the end of the season. So I feel like the Mavericks absolutely won the trade.
Yeah. I can't wait for the guy in the comments to be like, I turned this off as soon as he said Dorian Finney-Smith is just a dude. Dorian Finney-Smith is actually a third wheel on a championship team. You're just so dumb. It's like, I can't wait for that guy. And then the craziest part of this trade was I was like, Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp are talking about this. These are two people that have very strong opinions about Kyrie Irving. So I was like, all right, let me see what they're talking about. And they're like, yeah, Dallas had to make this trade because they didn't re-sign Jalen Brunson. I was like, what? And
yes,
it's like, Kyrie Irving's going to command $30 million a year, where look how well Jalen Brunson's playing in New York. Like, yeah, look how well he's playing because they have no one else on the team who can score. I mean,
Julius Randle,
13 shots a game, and then Jalen Brunson absolutely disappeared in the Western Conference Finals. So it's like, overpaying for Kyrie is different than overpaying for Jalen Brunson. It's like
Jalen Brunson is not Kyrie either.
Yeah, no, Kyrie Irving.
He's an all-star in the. He was what, an all-star last year?
Jalen Brunson? I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like Kyrie Irving's an NBA champion.
Yeah, and he hit one of the best shots in finals history. And Kyrie is someone who can look Steph in the eye and then match him. And then if you have Kyrie match Steph, and then you have Luka on top of that, people are like, "How is this going to work?" I'm like, well, first of all, how did LeBron James and Kyrie Irving work? Where LeBron has to have the ball in his hands at all time. Luka has to have the ball in his hands at all time. Kyrie Irving just adds someone else that you have to double team. And then Luka Doncic can do it by himself. He can do it with just Tim Hardaway and Christian Wood coming along. And then if he can get 2 games from Kyrie in a series versus the Warriors, that's going to be the difference that pushes them over the top. And then if you get real Kyrie Irving playing, it's like, Kyrie is filthy, and if he's motivated and he seems like he wants to prove people wrong this season, him pairing up with Luka at this point is like if LeBron, well, he's not as good of a defender as LeBron was. He is statistically everything LeBron was, but he can shoot.
Yeah.
And that's where Luka Doncic is at this point in his career, putting on 60-point triple doubles with Kyrie Irving. I think the West is wide open.
Yes.
So I feel like Steph is hurt. So Steph isn't going to be there for a few months right now. The Nuggets, the Clippers, the Jazz, the Jazz aren't even a team anymore, but the Grizzlies, Dylan Brooks is now the most hated player in the league. We'll get to that after this. But Kyrie Irving to the Mavericks, if you get Kyrie Irving and he's just giving Luka like a consistent 20 points a night, I think this is the home run. And I think Mark Cuban had to take this chance, and the worst thing that happens is they trade away Spencer Dinwiddie, and they already weren't going to re-sign him, and you get a good playoff run out of Kyrie, and then you trade a first-round pick in 7 years, which if you still have Luka Doncic, not going to be a very valuable.
It's going to be like a 20th pick.
Yeah, exactly.
So good luck with that, because honestly, all the stars were drafted in the lottery. Most of them.
Overall, do you think Dallas won the trade?
100%, which I don't understand, because if you look at anything else everyone's saying in the media, it's like, oh, the Mavericks gave up so much. which
Yeah.
I'm like, they're not going to pay. They weren't going to pay Spencer Dinwiddie, like I mentioned, Dorian Finney-Smith, but it's like Kyrie. I understand the problem. It's like how is him and Luka going to mesh?
Yeah.
But if they can mesh, it's like home run pick. And I don't think the players that they lost are going to change the world on them.
No.
Like you mentioned, they have a wide open Western Conference, and it's like you have good ownership, you have good coaching, and you have a top 5 player in the NBA. You had
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving, who's an elite player as well. Plus, you still have Christian Wood. You didn't give up Christian Wood.
Yeah.
So you have